Let's move on to the AFC East.
It's another tough division.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So quick recap on this one. Last season finishes were Buffalo 13-3, Miami 9-8. Of course, they had injury issues. New England 8-9, and the New York Jets 7-10. So what you got? Let's start with Chris. What you looking like for this division?
It's-
And this probably was my tougher division though. Out of all of them to actually pick for me, I got the Pats coming in fourth. I mean, we know who Billy Belichick is. Defense always gonna be there. I mean, offensively, I don't like Mac Jones. I'm just straight up. I don't.
Yeah.
They don't have a quarterback. I don't care what they're talking about. They don't have no quarterback.
Mhm.
So it sounds like they're just gonna be running the ball for the most part, and keeping him out of harm's way. But their defense is always gonna keep them in the game. That's what's always gonna make them tough, no matter what. So, but I still got them going for. We ain't talking about the playoffs yet, but I actually have the next three teams going in the playoffs though.
Okay.
Because I had to say that first because I'm about to say something else. I got Bills third.
Oh,
I got the Bills third.
Okay.
They lost their starting middle linebacker, Trey White. He's off and on injured.
Yeah, he's still working his way back.
So I mean, their defense. I think their defense. I mean, yeah, they're getting Von Miller, but I mean, it's an aging Von. He just got hurt again. I mean, how much do he really got left?
Mm-hmm.
Offensively, I mean, they try to downplay the whole Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen thing, but you never know what's really going on behind the scenes, and they have no proven second receiver at all. Now, I do like to pick up a Dalton Kincaid, though. I do like that for him. That'll help him out a lot, but I just think that offense is going to take a step back. Second place, got the Jets, man. Got the Jets in second place.
All right.
I love it. Yeah.
Right.
Since you brought that up, I am literally banking on Tua staying healthy because when he was healthy, they were doing some good things last year. But whether you could call it mismanagement or not, he got hurt and they set their back. Even that plays into me picking Bills third because they came in to play out with a backup quarterback and should have won that game. That's how I look at it. But I am banking on Tua staying healthy, and if he stays healthy, I love their defense. Even though I think Ramsey will out maybe 3-4 games. I think
maybe more.
Back in the back half of the season.
Yeah, like
to back half of the season
to like December. He might maybe late November, but December, yeah. And that's what kind of
regardless though.
Yeah,
and Jets. I mean, you insert a real quarterback, I'm pretty sure they make the playoff next year. It's going to be interesting to see the chemistry between Rodgers and his receivers.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be the most indicator of their success next year or this year.
And what's that? I think we're going to see with the Jets like early, their first 6 games.
Oh,
like 5 out of the 6 were playoff teams last year. We're going to see them come to the gauntlet early. So,
including Buffalo week 1 Monday night.
Yeah, can't wait for that one. Whew. Yeah. All right, Shai, what's up? What you got?
Okay, so I got at 4. I got New England. I do think that I just don't think they have enough at the risk. They're not giving Mac Jones enough weapons. I do think that they've got some young guys that they may be able to do something with. Of course, with Juju Juju coming in as well. And then, like Chris mentioned, the defense is always going to be good. I've got Miami at 3. I do not have them making the playoffs. Let me be sure. Yeah, I don't have them making the playoffs. I do think that there will be. I think their defense is going to be great with Vic Fangio coming. Obviously, I think that having Jalen Ramsey miss that first half of the season is going to be rough.
Especially because they got Eli Apple feeling.
Yeah. Back to Eli Apple. Xavier Howard, he kind of had a rough season last year, but he can always bounce back. And Bradley Chubb he had a really good rookie year, really good, first couple years, and then it's kind of tailed off the past couple years. So we'll have to see how he does with Vic Fangio, getting back with Vic Fangio, stuff like that. So I think there's a little bit more questions, and I do think that a second year of now that everybody's kind of seeing how Tua is going to be with Tariq and Jalen Waddle, they'll be able to guard that a little bit better. I've got New York at number 2. I do think that Aaron Rodgers is going to make some noise in New York, and I do think that Garrett Wilson's going to have a great season. I do think that, Alan Lazard's always solid, obviously. And Mecole Hardman's going to be good as well. I do think that Corey Davis, I thought he was going to be really good with them as well, but I think
Yeah,
that'll hurt them a little bit.
that came out of
Um,
nowhere, kind of.
yeah,
That
but
retirement, yeah.
that defensive line is nasty. They've got a heavy rotation of defensive line. They just drafted Jermaine Johnson last year in the first round, Will McDonald last year in the first round, or this year in the first round. Bryce Huff's a good defensive or edge rusher as along with, Quinnen Williams. CJ Mosley's obviously a great linebacker. And then, DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner in the back. I mean, I think that defense is going to be nasty. So, and Buffalo, there's been a lot of talk about how Buffalo's been having, bad vibes with Stephon Diggs and everything that's been going on. But I think that not enough is talked about, obviously we all remember the DeMar Hamlin situation. Not enough's been talked about how like that could have affected a lot of what happened last year. Like everybody was on edge, everybody's on pins and needles. They just watched something tragic happen. And then, obviously that was also to not to be insensitive to the situation, but that was also a huge game that could have decided who was going to get that first seed, and they didn't even have that game either. And then obviously we all saw how the season ended against the Bengals. Von Miller coming back after a few games. I think he's on the PUP list, so he'll miss the first 4 games.
Yeah.
But not enough's being talked about them bringing in Leonard Floyd. I think that's going to be a huge addition. I do think that Gregory Rousseau is going to take another step. I think this is his 3rd or 4th year. Puna Ford will be a good addition as well.
Hope he gets some
on
PT,
that D-line.
some real run. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, Tremaine Edmonds, he went and got his money in Chicago, but Matt Milano is still a really good linebacker. He's probably the best linebacker on their team, honestly.
Yeah.
And then they brought Taylor Rapp. Taylor Rapp is a good 3 safety with Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, I think, and then he can kind of play in the middle and help them out there as well. So I do think Buffalo will be the division winner again.
All right. Funny thing, I got that same exact order. So I got Patriots at 4. Pretty much for the same reason you guys said. I don't trust it just yet. And it's also just a strength of their competition in the division, honestly. I think they'll have a strong rushing attack. They got a 2-headed monster now. If you want to consider Zeke still relevant, I mean, he did score 12 touchdowns last season. I mean, so he can still do damage when you get down there. And then I think him paired with Ramondre, it's not just Zeke. Yeah. I think that's huge. And just keeping the focus on Ramondre Stevenson, like really just keep the focus on him, have Zeke be the compliment. But yeah, I don't really trust Mac Jones at all. I do I will be watching this defense though, strictly because just the scheme alone. And we talked about it before, Chris. Like just the scheme of this defense has always been solid. I like to pick up a Christian Gonzalez. I think I wanted the Falcons to get him, but I'm not mad at our pick at all. Yeah. I did think that Christian Gonzalez could be real solid next to AJ, but I'll hold that down. But yeah, so I got New England at 4. At 3, I got Miami. Now, could be dead wrong about this, but I think I'm basing off that Jalen Ramsey injury. I think that's huge. Yep. I think a lot of their scheme depended on having both him and Xavier at their peak. You know what I mean? So, and of course, great defense coordinator. He'll figure something out. But I was really banking on that. That's a big loss to me. And it's very possible they'll have to outshoot some people, which they had the possibility of doing. But you got to bank on Tua staying healthy and staying upright. It's just last season, that was tough. That was tough. So I got Jets at 2. That defense is solid, man. I can't wait to see it. A-Rod, of course, we've seen them on Hard Knocks. So it's been 4 episodes so far. So we got to see a little of the inner workings of it and kind of how he's going about introducing himself to the team, how the team is in awe by him, really, and the coach.
Yeah.
All the coaches.
The coach, for sure. So that's the difference between going from, a rookie, a second-year player that's struggling, and a Hall of Fame quarterback. I mean,
it's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
It's like a weight lift. You could tell, like, they really walking around like a weight has been lifted off.
Like they know what they got.
Yeah, hopefully it shows. But they got a solid, man. They got. I don't think Randall Clark could do too much nowadays, but I do like Alan Lazard. I do like Garrett Wilson, of course, I think he'll have a huge year, like
Yeah.
huge. And Dalvin Cook, what y'all think about the Dalvin Cook pickup? Actually, before I continue,
I mean, it'll help because
he's still solid now. Dalvin Cook still.
He was still good last year. I mean, it'll
Yeah.
definitely help with Brees Hall coming back because it's inevitable that with an ACL returning from an ACL injury, it's gonna, you're gonna have some growing pains with that, at least for the first full year. So I do think that'll help the two of them, and as they still got Michael Carter as a third running back too. So it'll be a good season for him.
And then, of course, at number 1, I got the Bills. Now, I think I just got 2 out of this division making the playoffs. But I'm excited about the Bills. I'm excited that once Von Miller comes back after week 4, they'll have the defense kind of whole. A lot of people kind of like what you mentioned, not to rain on that parade, but like DeMar Hamlin, the reason why he was playing is because of the injuries to the 2 starting safeties and Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. Those are 2 important figures that they were missing at the end of the year. And to have, of course, like you said, Taylor Rapp. So they have I don't think DeMar Hamlin's going to play. He's going to play special teams probably, but I don't think he's going to play that much. But solid safeties. Trey White, hopefully he returned to form. And then you got Matt Milano, like you said, one of the best linebackers. Like I think he's top 10 linebacker in the league. Von Miller, solid pass rush. Now, Chris, I do like with your no solid second receiver. That's a great point. Don't get me wrong. That's a great point. But I think they're going to run the ball this year. I think they're going to run the ball more, and I think they should. I mean, you got James Cook back there. You got Damian Harris.
Yeah, I didn't mention Damian Harris.
Yeah. So I think that kind of, especially with the 2 tight ends that you got,
and Knox
and Kincaid. So I think they should run the ball more. Don't have Josh Allen back there trying to make shit happen. Tossing the ball 40 times a game, running, trying to truck people and shit. You don't need.
You already got hurt this past year.
Exactly. You do not need that. So if I see that, then if I see that early in the season, I might, But for right now, that's what I'm gonna roll with. Yeah.